Tesla is about to make its inventory completely vanish in the US for Model Y, even though we just hit all-time highs for inventory levels. Actually, if we are going to do what we are going to talk about here today, this level of inventory, which is at the highest it has ever been, this actually may be a big lack of inventory. Let me explain. This chart right here actually does not show the actual inventory level because Tesla only shows you one car, even if they have 10 cars in the same location with the exact same configuration. So the actual number is possibly quite a bit bigger than what we are seeing here. So think about this. When we look at this chart, what did Tesla do around here? It went to a level of discounting that would match the $7,500 tax credit, and it also added some supercharging miles. And then, of course, the inventory completely disappeared. Tesla is not getting the $7,500 EV credit for this Model Y long range unless it's a 7-seater. But for a 5-seater, it costs about $66,000. In China, that same car right now costs 310,000 RMB. So the same car in China basically costs about $20,000 less than in the United States of America. And if Tesla was going to actually drop the price of a Model Y down to $55,000, when we include the additional $7,500 from the government, then this would be a drop in price of about $18,500. We know exactly what happens when Tesla drops its price by $7,500 for the Model Y. We just take a look here and we can see that there was a very steep drop immediately. The inventory vanished. So what do you think would happen if Tesla actually went ahead and dropped the price for the Model Y by $18,500? Tesla would need a lot more inventory for the inventory to actually not vanish like in 2 days. And Tesla would still make a pretty good profit because remember, in China right now, Tesla sells the Model Y for $45,000 basically. If we look at the Model 3, the Model 3, by the way, is doing just fine, at least for now. Here we had no problems with any kind of inventory or anything like that. So just coming back to a normal level now. And also remember, for the Model 3, we still cannot get the long range model. And there is no standard range for Model Y yet. So this is what I would consider the worst case for Tesla, having to drop price down to $55,000. I am not saying that Tesla will do this. They might. And if they do, I would expect the inventory level to keep building up for quite a bit longer, because I don't think we want a backlog of many, many months immediately again. I mean, currently every single one sells for a ridiculous amount of money. And all of that profit, of course, goes into Tesla's bank account. There are a few more things that I would expect Tesla to first at least try to do before they would actually go ahead and drop the price by about $18,000 when we include the $7,500 EV tax credit. So the only reason why Model Y is not getting the tax credit is because the running clearance is not high enough. So we just need to lift it up a little bit. You could maybe even take vehicles in inventory and actually make this change. Here's how the car would look then. Looks a little bit more like an SUV maybe. I guess when you look at it from a little bit further away, it looks just fine. Although when it's up close, I don't know. I think I would prefer this kind of look just a little bit more when it's up close. it just looks more put together, more proportional. Everything is just smooth and put together. But I think it would be good enough, probably, with this higher suspension. You can see many other pictures here on this website as well. Yeah, I think it looks okay. Maybe not as good. It's like a different kind of look, more of an off-roading look instead of a city sort of SUV kind of a look. Another thing that Tesla can do is to add an air suspension that can be adjusted on the fly, like what you can see here with a Model X, and that would also fix the issue, because then you just set the default to whatever setting you need for the height of the vehicle, and it will pass through all of the regulation just fine. Air suspensions, however, are a little bit expensive, so that would hurt the profit margin a little bit. And also, they do tend to break down, and they can be a little bit costly to repair, so that just adds extra maintenance cost. It's also important to put all of our current inventory in context. We can see that we used to have 25 days of inventory before, and now it's still only 13 days of vehicles that we have in inventory. So we have 13 days. Everyone else has almost 30 days at best, and the healthy supply is considered 60 days if you just look at this chart, and you can see many are above that as well. Also, a lot of commodity prices are coming back down. We can see that lithium specifically is coming back to a level roughly to where it was in March. If we zoom out, of course, we still have a long way to go, but it is steadily coming down. Also, for example, shipping is coming down in price by a lot, which is good because to produce a car, you need to ship a whole lot of things from a whole lot of places. So if you pay less for shipping, that will lower your cost of goods sold. So even with all of the price cuts, we eventually might still actually see some pretty decent profits. And we can see here that, yeah, it looks like we have reached peak costs in the second quarter of 2022, and now it's probably going to come down. Let's see what we find out from the next earnings report. Here's another interesting chart I found. This is consumer purchase intent mentions on Twitter, and Q4 is right here. So you can see that it actually increased from Q3, which is right here. And here's how it is calculated. So for example, if you said I just got a new Tesla Model 3, that would be counted as a purchase intent. I wonder if they also count phrases like I just test drove a Tesla. I wonder if they count those. Check this one out. This is pretty good. So of course it's all in Chinese. And this is the translation. Dragged a friend to Tesla to protest the price drop. This dog saw the discount so cheap and brought one, meaning bought the car. That is pretty funny. Also, for those of you who are worried about BYD, Tesla sells in a very different segment. Tesla's cars are much more expensive than BYD cars. Also, this here includes hybrids as well, so it's not really a direct comparison, but still you can see there's no BYD here at all, and here you can only see a tiny little bit. I mean, if Tesla was also selling in this segment or in this segment and BYD was selling so many more cars, then I would say, what is going on? What this really shows to me is that you can make a car that is and still sell an incredible an absolutely crazy number of cars here. So imagine what will happen when Tesla enters these segments here with the compact, with a much cheaper car. Then we'll see how these charts look like. And if you're afraid of the potential impact to margins because of the price cuts, check this out. I know at least a couple people that ordered Model Y back in March at prices that were $7,000 below today's price. They took delivery in November. The short-term price cuts at $7,500 were just essentially the same price. So from this, and this is not the only tweet that I'm seeing like this, got my Model Y with September 2021 pricing in August of 2022. I ordered my Model X, I believe, in the year of 2021, March, and was delivered in 2022 in November, with the pricing being $25,000 less. And then in December, Tesla started offering that $7,500 discount for Model 3s and Model Ys. So basically, there should be very little, or perhaps even almost no impact to margins if we cut prices by $7,500 here in the US. And look who is tweeting again about Tesla. Most automakers are selling a lot less in 2022 compared to 2021, while Tesla sold 44% more vehicles. Note that this is specifically in the United States of America. And these are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. My name is Matt Posius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.